You know that kitchen bin you've got? We all have one. But what if it wasn't just for trash? What if it was actually a source of real wealth? We're about to look at a system that totally flips the script, turning your everyday kitchen scraps from a problem into a seriously valuable asset. I mean, really think about it. Every single banana peel, all those coffee grounds, the veggie scraps, we just toss them, and poof, they're gone. It feels like a one-way trip to the landfill, right? A total dead end. But is it? Or is it actually a huge opportunity that we've been throwing away every single day? Well, this is where the Izzy Actuals Biocycler comes in. The whole idea here is simple, but it's a game changer. Waste isn't waste. It's a resource. So this isn't just some fancy bin. It's a high-efficiency conversion system. Think of it more like a compact living factory that you can have right in your home, literally turning scraps into gold. So how in the world does a simple bin become a living machine? To get that, we've got to peek under the hood of this 80-liter system. Because it's not just a big pile of compost inside. Nope. It's a carefully designed vertical ecosystem where every single layer has a very specific job to do. The secret sauce here is what's called a stratified system. It's a fancy way of saying that different biological jobs are happening at different levels, kind of like a skyscraper for biology. And this separation is the absolute key to making it so efficient. It means your waste gets processed incredibly fast, and you don't get that smelly, slimy mess that can happen with other methods. So it all breaks down into 3 distinct zones, each one playing a crucial role. Right at the very bottom, you've got the foundation, which is all about drainage. Then in the middle, that's the deep zone, the real powerhouse where the worms live. And right on top, you've got the surface zone, which is basically a nursery where the whole process kicks off. Okay, so here's how they all work together like a well-oiled machine. The foundation's clay pebbles make sure nothing gets waterlogged. The deep zone is home base for the red wiggler worms. We can call them the finishers because they create that final amazing compost. But the real magic actually starts up top, in the surface zone. When you add fresh waste, it attracts fruit flies, and their larvae act as the shredders, breaking everything down and basically pre-digesting it for the worms down below. It's this perfect symbiotic tag team effort. Of course, any factory is only as good as the fuel you put into it, right? To get the absolute best results from the BIOCYCLER, you can't just toss in whatever. You need the right recipe, and it's called the Actuals Mix. And you're gonna love this. The recipe is surprisingly simple. It's like a perfectly balanced diet for the whole ecosystem inside the bin. 50% is your standard kitchen waste, 30% is duckweed, and the last 20% is dry scraps. This isn't just random. It's a formula that's been dialed in for top performance. So, the big question is, why this mix works so well? Well, each part has a super important job. The fruit and veggie scraps, they provide all the essential sugars. The duckweed is a total powerhouse, adding moisture and a massive hit of nitrogen. And those dry scraps, like crushed grain, they add key minerals and give the whole mixture some structure. Every single ingredient is vital for fueling this little factory. All right, now for the part we've all been waiting for, the payoff. After all this incredible biological action, what do you actually get out of it? The BioCycler gives you 2 distinct, highly valuable outputs. It's time to harvest what they call your organic gold. So the first major output is probably not what you're expecting from a compost bin. It's not soil. It's a constant, fresh supply of high-protein, live animal feed. These little harvested fruit flies are called biocapsules, and they are an absolute superfood. Get this, they're a staggering 70% protein, plus they're rich in lauric acid, which is awesome for an animal's immune system. If you have chickens or trout, this live feed triggers their natural hunting instincts, which cuts down on stress and leads to really visible health benefits, like shinier fish scales and those beautiful deep orange egg yolks. The second output is what you might traditionally expect from composting, but it's on a whole other level. This is premium black gold. Seriously, some of the best fertilizer you can possibly get your hands on. Now, this fertilizer actually comes in 2 forms. First, there's the liquid worm tea. It's this concentrated brew of microbes that you just collect from a tap at the bottom. You dilute it about 10-to-1 with water, and boom, it's a powerful nutrient shot for any plant. Then you have the solid stuff, the vermicompost. These are the actual worm castings, and this is high-grade material that makes your soil structure better and is just packed with nutrients. Okay, so we've seen the quality of what comes out, but what does this all mean in real tangible terms? Like money. Let's get to the bottom line and actually put a number on the value you could be generating from your kitchen scraps. The numbers here really do speak for themselves. For a standard family's waste, you could be making kilograms of compost, liters of worm tea, and hundreds of grams of both insect feed and new worms every single month. When you start looking at the potential value or the savings, it adds up incredibly fast. I mean, let's just zero in on this one figure for a second. Up to 25 pounds a month just from the liquid fertilizer that literally drips out of the bottom of the bin. That's real money you're no longer spending at the garden center. And we have to circle back to this number because it's just wild. 70% protein. You'd be hard-pressed to find a commercial animal feed that good and that expensive, and you're producing it for free from stuff you were going to throw out anyway. In the end, it really all comes back to this one powerful idea. The entire system is engineered from the ground up to turn something we all see as worthless into genuine, tangible, organic wealth. And that really leaves us with one final question to chew on. The next time you walk over to your kitchen bin to throw something away, it's worth taking a second to ask yourself, what wealth is hiding in there?